Welcome to Live Laugh Larceny's not episode of Live Laugh Larceny. This is Trevin.
And I'm Amanda, and I think, Trevin, that it is safe to say that this week's dreadful dilemma is that this is not a normal episode.
That's true. That's actually exactly what I was going to say.
Oh my God.
That was an easy joke to grab, I guess.
Get out of my brain, will you?
So we are actually not even in the same room right now.
This is really weird. I'm at home inside a fort in my basement, and I see Trevin at his desk in the studio I'm normally in. So this is very weird.
This is very weird, and there's like a little bit of a lag, and I'm not used to it between you and I.
Right. It's like, do you not think I'm funny? Like, what the fuck?
So yes, this is our little summer break. Decided to take a midway point through the year. I've got a couple other big things coming up, going to CrimeCon and then doing my wedding. So there may be one more between now and Christmas. I don't know. But we are taking this week off, but we just wanted to still check in and say, hey, we're still thinking about you. Don't hate us. You know, we'll be here.
Yeah, we still love you. And even though we're taking a week off in podcast land in your ears, we're still working hard behind the scenes for you all.
Yes. Before Amanda and I jumped on this call, was editing videos for TikTok because I'm trying to make us be a little more present with social media. And I was doing a clip with Amanda making a weird frog face that I'm going to have to do something with now.
I know. He flipped the camera around and showed me. So you guys are in for some real content. Amanda facial expressions coming your way. So be ready.
Mm-hmm.
So Trevin, while we're on here and before we jump into the episode that we're all going to share with you from the podcast That's So Fucked Up, you and I talked about how you wanted to do kind of like a midway through the year kind of catch up with each other.
Yeah. I hope everybody's enjoying this year. I feel like it has evolved more with the sound. I'm not even sure what I did, but it's actually taking me longer to edit the show now when you'd think that I would be faster at it. But there's something about the sound that I feel like I've just hit a new level where I'm now evolving, and I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn or anything. It's cool to feel like I'm doing a lot more of an audio experience with it now.
Yeah, I've even noticed a difference. I was telling you, like, there will be times where you will send me the episode and I'll be listening at night, like with my headphones and my kids are sleeping. And it just feels, I don't know, to me, our stories feel more like an overall sense of atmosphere and like you're actually there and feeling it. I don't know how it is you've been able to do that, but I feel it in my soul. So great job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of every single one that goes out. I mean, sometimes there's like a mistake that I'm not happy with, but every single one expresses something different that I'm always happy to express.
Yeah.
But I did want to bring up, so you had a dilemma a couple weeks ago, and I was going to bring this up in an episode that we were going to record here soon, but I decided we'll just do it here. You brought up your especially, and I said I knew there was something that I always said wrong, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, what is it?
I finally remembered what it was. It's the word across, because I always add an ED at the end of it. I always say acrossed.
No way. Really?
Yeah, it's like acrossed.
Oh, no.
I think that's just like a country thing. I think my family does it a lot, but Emily has broke me from it. And now anytime I think of the word, I have to like over exaggerate the across.
So acrossed or acrossed?
Well, it's acrossed, but I basically say it across as in it's like past tense. Okay. So it's like he moved across the street or something like that.
Interesting.
I don't think it's saying it incorrectly. I think it's just bad grammar.
Do you struggle to spell that word too, or just say it?
I don't know. I might actually put an ED in it sometimes.
I'm glad that I'm not alone, so thank you.
Yeah, you're not alone. And apparently, I guess I'm not either. I just Googled it, and there's people, they say across is not a thing.
Well, there you go. Speaking of dreadful dilemmas, I just had to pause this recording because I had a crying baby upstairs. So I appreciate everyone being patient with us. I know for me, with this whole mid-year wrap-up, I'm just trying to constantly find that balance of being here with the kids and working on businesses and trying to keep the house going. And it's just a lot. But my goal for this whole rest of the year is to hopefully find a better balance.
Yeah. And mine is to shoot us to the moon.
There we go.
So then I don't have to balance that other place.
Oh my God. Well, we just love our listeners. I know that it's a bummer. We're not doing an episode, I'm sure, but we did recently, not only are we going to be playing you, like I said, an episode that we did and we were guests on for That's So Fucked Up, but we also did a different podcast recently, and it's a 3-hour long interview with Trevin and I. So if you just need a fixing of us for some reason,
yeah, weirdos,
you've got it.
Yeah, there's a show called Neanderthal here in Kansas City. It's like Neanderthal mixed with the word talk, Neanderthal. And we just did an interview there, talked about some Kansas City crimes, reminisced about some stuff we've already covered, and that was a lot of fun. We drank Palomas the whole time.
Oh, it was great.
We did that, so if you need more of us past this, you've got that. And the episode we're going to be sharing with you is an episode we did with That's So Fucked Up. That was probably, March, maybe?
It's been a little while since we did it, yeah.
They do some pretty cool stuff, really interesting things that I think kind of fit in with what we like to do with the macabre sort of like death-related stuff. And Ashley had us on to talk about, she had a Jarring Japan series where it was different Japan stuff, and we talked about the Fukushima tsunami, which was extremely interesting. I don't want to give too much of a spoiler, but there was a nuclear power plant right there where it was hit, and I didn't even know anything about that.
Yeah, no, we both learned a lot that episode for sure. I remember a lot of it when she was telling us the things. You and I were both just like, what? That's a thing?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I really, living in the Midwest here in the U.S. of A., really don't see a lot of tsunamis. So it was really fascinating to learn just how many tsunamis happen over there as well.
Yeah. We'll have links to go follow That's So Fucked Up. I'll put a link to find our interview with Neanderthal, and we're going to be a lot more present on social media, and I'm actually already starting this week off strong with social media. That's one thing I'm doing with this week to get caught up with. And so we'll be back next week with a new episode with new stories, and it's already a good one because I already have got about 3/4 of it done.
Oh, man, I cannot wait to hear it. You know how I love to hear it once it's all done. Oh, my God. I'm just like a listener, I swear to God. I listen in and I'm like, ah!
Yeah, I always love that. The sounds you do, you don't even know what you're doing until you hear them later.
I really have a lot of blind trust for you, Trevin. I really do.
That's true. I don't think I ever talked about this on the show, but there was one time where I had given you a list of sounds to do. And you were supposed to be a person who had robbed some people in just like one of our little side things that happened with the sound effects. And you were supposed to just be a person running off, and you were supposed to say, "See you later, losers," or something like that. And I had a typo that I didn't even know I had done. And so I sent Amanda the list, and then I went to bed. And the next day she sends me the sounds, and I go back to listen to them. And Amanda, full blown, acting it out, bolts it out and says, "See you later, lovers." And I was like, what the hell? Lovers doesn't make any sense there. And then I looked back and I had that typo of losers to lovers, and you just didn't question it because you're a committed actress and you just jumped on it and just went with it. You're like, I don't know why I would say lovers, but I'm going to do it.
Oh my God. I completely forgot about that. That brought tears to my eyes because I remember shouting that in my closet. So yeah, there's a lot of really funny moments. I also remember, this is such good behind the scenes like sound effects tea right now. This is kind of fun. But one time I was in Colorado and we were visiting Jordan's family, and I had some sound effects that I had to do. And this was a while back. This was I think this was my Ferris wheel fornicator story. And I had to do a lot of sex sounds. And I'm here at my sister-in-law's home, okay? And like trying to make these like weird, sexy sounds in her closet in the basement, trying not to let her children or her or my kids hear me. It was really something.
I just imagine that from the other side. Somebody slowly walking past and just hear you in the closet going, and just be like, I'm going to walk past this real quick.
I think Aunt Amanda needs some alone time.
That's Aunt Amanda's closet now.
Yeah, you send me some crazy shit sometimes for real, though.
It's true. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us, guys. We'll be back next week. And I guess I should have gave a warning in the beginning. Don't 1 stars for this episode or anything, because it's not a real one. But yeah, we'll be back next week. And be sure to give our friends here at That's So Fucked Up a follow, a like, and listen to more. I think they had some other ones that was about the Bible or something that was really good too. So very interesting stuff all around there.
Yeah, they also had a Hillbilly Happenings or something like that where they talked about country partying or something. I don't know, but it was hysterical. You have to check it out.
Well, all right, guys, we will see you next week. And Amanda, take it away.
And just remember, you guys, even though this isn't a regular episode, in the end, we're all doomed.
Doomed to patiently wait until next week, people.
Bye.
See ya.
At 4:15, around there, the Fukushima power plant was hit by a 50-foot wave. That is super bad news, Bears.
That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to That's So Fucked Up Presents Jarring Japan. That's So Fucked Up Presents is a spin-off series of That's So Fucked Up, a podcast about cults, murder, and other generally fucked up stuff. In That's So Fucked Up Presents, each season is like a mini-series where we dive into a particular topic over the course of a month. This season, we're talking about some of Japan's most interesting cultural aspects. I'm your host, Ashley Richards, and this is Jarring Japan. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by 2 amazing hosts of Live Laugh Larceny. Well, the amazing host, as far as I know you guys don't have any more, Trevin and Amanda. So yeah, tell the people like what you're about.
Okay, well, Trevin and I, we've been friends for quite some time now. Gosh, I don't even know. Has it been like 7 years, Trevin?
Yeah, 7 is about right.
We wanted to do a podcast together, but we wanted to kind of take a unique spin on the traditional true crime comedy shows. So instead of talking about heavy subject matter, we wanted to spin that around and dive into petty crimes and tell them in a more dramatic tone. I was more of true crime. Trevin was more into comedy. And then Trevin, do you want to tell them all about like your music and sound effects and everything?
Sure. So basically, I was always just trying to think of like how to make a different kind of comedy show. So I thought it's really funny to hear those true crime podcasts that kind of take themselves a little too seriously, the really cheesy like investigative discovery documentaries series. And I thought, okay, a lot of them will have like those really cheesy reenactments and the goofy effects, and they're always so overly dramatic. So I thought I want to tell these funny, petty crimes, petty headlines in a dramatic tone like that. So I've got the really overly moody music in the background, and we do our own set of reenactment effects. Totally make fun of it, but make it seem like we're taking something as small as a cell phone thief way too seriously. Having your cell phone stolen at a coffee shop is more serious and scary than how an investigative Discovery Channel documentary may make a murder seem.
Right, you're like, there was Jonestown, and then there was the guy who stole my Adidas from the fucking gym. He knew those weren't his. You don't get your shoes confused. Amanda, has Trevin at all told you about what mine's about?
Yeah, I don't know if this little like special project is similar, but I've looked through a few of your episodes.
Oh, I think she meant her actual petty crime story she's going to do.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing a petty crime story.
What? Surprise. I'm a guest on your show and you didn't even know.
I surprise Amanda with stuff sometimes.
Yes, he
I blew
surprises
it.
me with stuff all the time. No. That is totally okay. But no, I have no
Spoilies.
idea. Have you recorded it already?
No, because when I make my script, it's bullet points, it's chronological. That's how I work. I don't write like essays and write dramatically and stuff. So I've been super nervous. Do I tell this in like a horror manner? Or like I knew what my subject was right away because I was like, girl, 8 years ago, you made some different decisions, you know? So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I think it's pretty fun. And now I know where I'm going with it. I'm excited, but I've been kind of apprehensive because I'm like, I don't know how to do this. It's a challenge. You know, it's a whole new world.
It's definitely a process. Yeah. If you're not used to writing it out in like this creative writing type of, over dramatic
I'm not like
novel
an author.
Storytelling.
I said, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to grab this bull by the horns. I'm going to give it a go. Well, me and Michelle both are, actually. A spoilie again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No.
We have different
That's
stories.
amazing. We applaud you for going for it. I mean, we've reached out to, a variety of podcasters and a lot of times people will be like, oh, that's not really my thing, whatever. And this isn't most people's thing, but I love it when people take the challenge and every guest reader's story is slightly different. So don't feel like you have to fit any mold.
Yeah.
Just be you.
Well, the funny thing is, I did say, I don't know at first, like literally just because I was like, oh, that's more work to do. But then I was like, you know what? Actually, this sounds pretty cool. I do like to stretch my creative limbs in different directions. So. It was a weird analogy, but
well, I cannot freaking wait to hear your story.
Well, you get to hear two stories from me because today you get to hear this story and then you get to hear my own personal story on an episode of your show. Today, we are going to be talking about Japan's infamous 2011 tsunami. I don't know if you guys remember this being in the news. It was a pretty big deal. Maybe you remember the nuclear disaster that ensued from the Fukushima plant. Big old radiation nightmare. That was a consequence of this tsunami that we're talking about today. This season is about jarring Japan. So, last week we talked about some of their more interesting and sort of inhumane game and reality shows. Hey, not just throwing them under the bus. We are not cool either.
No.
Because I was discussing it with somebody, or they were like, dude, think about fucking Fear Factor. Oh, your worst fear is snakes? Well, we'll give you $10,000 if you let the world watch you stand in your worst nightmare for the next 3 minutes.
Right.
We love to see people suffer. It's crazy.
Yep.
I swear, I have a theory that if the Hunger Games came on tomorrow as like a real show and it was real people would be watching.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Placing bets and shit. We as a human race are sick fucks, you guys. It's crazy.
It's true.
And this is coming from a true crime person who's just drawn to the most morbid things ever. And so it's like, I get it. But I it's not like I couldn't have gone and watched Gladiators, you know?
Right.
Oh, let's watch slaves fight to the death. I don't think watching humans or animals or living beings fight to the death is the same as me wanting to talk about a tsunami. So I'm going to go ahead and take us all out of that weird boat that I put us in for a second, okay? Because we're not watching the Hunger Games. We're all in that same team, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody here's secretly like, well, I don't know. I might turn on.
Trevin's like,
Yeah, I'll just sit here quietly for a minute.
Gonna see myself out. Yeah, so Japan, they have had some very interesting reality and game shows. So we kicked off the season with that, little yin and yang, dark and light. But now, I'm sorry, guys, there's not much to laugh about here. Got a little bit of the bummer end of the stick.
yeah, that's okay.
But my job is to try to not leave you totally depressed. So hopefully I can present it in that way with also just making this pretty interesting because I think what do you think of when you think of a tsunami? Instantly, what flashes into your head?
I mean, I know we were kind of talking a little bit before we started recording, and we were talking about like the gigantic, waves, the water just shooting up, and how that's actually really not the thing that's the destructive part and all that. But for me, that is the thing that I think of. Is I think it was my husband showed me a video of a beach before a tsunami, and all the water kind of receded back.
That is not a good time to go look at the seabed, my friends.
And that's kind of my...
That's not let's go explore what we normally can't see time. That's run for the fucking hills time.
Right.
Yeah, the receding water is terrifying. In some videos that I watched at the speed it was receding, because that's pretty unnatural. Usually the tide comes in, not the other way. Yeah, most people think of these giant walls of water immediately swallowing a city. And while tsunami waves can get pretty fucking high, that's not generally what causes these huge death tolls and the major destruction that comes along with them. So today we are talking about the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in Japan.
Is that common to have an earthquake and tsunami together?
Yes, 80% of tsunamis are created from earthquakes, but the other 20% are due to natural causes like volcanoes, landslides, icebergs breaking, displacement of water.
Okay.
In a big sense. I don't know how to say that more eloquently.
In a big way, yeah.
6 out of 10 of the most destructive tsunamis of the last 600 years have been in Japan. While the 2011 tsunami didn't have the highest death count at all. I mean, 18,000 people went missing or were dead, which is a huge amount of people. But if you look at the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami that left 230,000 people dead, pretty big difference in tolls, but the destruction done is just insane regardless. Part of the reason, yes, I could talk about that tsunami that had a higher death count in a different episode, but I felt like it was so appropriate in the Japan season because since the 1400s, 6 out of the 10 worst tsunamis have been in Japan. And that's actually why the word tsunami is, you might have guessed, it's a Japanese word.
I figured.
Dang, I didn't realize there was that many that took place there.
Yeah, this was actually out of those 6 that were the most destructive, the most powerful, recorded at 2.9. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to get into what the fuck is a tsunami?
Do you find crime podcasts to be a little too murdery? Then take a break from all things heavy and get petty.
Join us, Amanda and Trevin, as we share killer facts, dreadful dilemmas, and tell real-life petty crime stories in the style of an audio drama.
There, sprayed all over the aisle floor and 8 display wigs, was a fresh pile of poo. Listen to Live, Laugh, Larceny on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And we're back. Like I said, tsunami first originated from the Japanese, translating to harbor waves. A tsunami is caused by a vast displacement of water at once, and it's usually an earthquake. An earthquake occurs when tectonic plates in the sea rupture after years of applied pressure, and earthquakes are ranked on a scale from 2 to 9, with 9 being the highest. So this one was the fucking highest it could be on the scale. So
wow.
Bad news bears.
That's so scary. Ugh.
Yeah, I was like having a lot of anxiety this morning, which isn't like, what? That's crazy. So unusual for me. But it was like a little bit extra today. And I was thinking, well, maybe it's because I watched fucking The Impossible last night. And then I've just watched an hour of fucking first account footage of this insanely destructive tsunami wiping out towns in seconds.
I'd say that could cause some anxiety to occur.
Like a little bit.
Yeah. That scene from The Impossible, that first initial hit and everything, that was pretty intense.
Yeah, really famous clip. And I think that, part of the reason is why it's the height of the waves that get mentioned so much. Just a really long, powerful stream of water doesn't look or sound as intense as like a 50-foot wave. Although those size of waves are like definitely occurring, they have to have a reason to occur. They have to be funneled into a bay or something. That's what causes the height to happen, is the water funneling into a narrower area.
Okay.
But that scene is still quite accurate, because even if it honestly, like I tried to research and I was like, I don't have fucking time for this. This is not the goddamn tsunami I'm covering. I can't anymore. But it's not like a fucking 70-foot wave came and hit that resort that was right on the coastline that you see if you watched The Impossible. Great movie, you guys. 10 out of 10 recommend. Anxiety level 10 out of 10 as well.
Oh, God.
So if you're into that. You see palm trees starting to break, and then the structures just starting to crash because of the wave. But it's not necessarily because it's this huge wave. It's because it's a wave that is traveling up to 600 miles per hour.
Whoa.
And miles long. So that's the thing. The water comes in with such force, and it just doesn't fucking stop coming. It just keeps coming and coming. And then when it starts to get funneled in between buildings and houses and stuff, that's when you start seeing bigger, higher waves again, because it's getting put into those more narrow crevices where you then start to see those big splashes that everybody's like, whoa.
Geez, 600 miles an hour. I can't even picture that in my brain.
Yeah. And while most of them don't reach over 10 feet by the time they hit land, sometimes they're doing their thing out at sea and going kind of bigger, but sometimes it'll break and then start to go towards the shore. So it's not like you've got this 100-foot wall staring you in the face or whatever, like people imagine.
Mm-hmm. It's like all momentum.
Yes, exactly. But I did find this fucking insane. Are you guys ready for this?
I don't know.
I don't think I am.
You're not going to believe it. Guess how many feet the largest ever recorded tsunami was. It happened in Lituya Bay, Alaska on July 9, 1958.
I'll say 300.
Oh, God. I don't
Go
even
crazy,
know.
Amanda.
Go crazy. 1,000?
1,700 feet.
Oh, damn. Again, another number I can't imagine.
I know.
My brain is broken. Apparently only 2 fatalities occurred. I'm guessing it's because maybe 2 people fucking lived there. I'm guessing it was just a very unpopulated area.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It inundated 5 square miles of land.
Oh, my God.
While I'm saying, like, it's not generally, it's not the size of the wave that counts. It's the motion of the ocean, is what I'm telling you guys.
Literally, yes.
I'll take it.
Actually what I'm telling you. But I mean, I think that's what fascinates a lot of people about tsunamis. No way waves get up to like 100 feet or whatever. Amanda, like you said, big bad sign is water starting to recede. Ocean water should generally be coming towards the shore. So when it stops doing that and starts getting sucked out, run for the hills. That's one of the first signs that...
Oh, is it?
Uh-oh.
I was going to say, is that the first sign? Or is that it's too late to get to cover at that point?
Dude, it's crazy. In some of these videos I saw, I don't know how people who are staffed at coastline resorts don't know this better. And I'm not going to lie, I might be conflating this with the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, because I was just into tsunamis for the past 24 hours. Somewhere in some time at some tsunami occurrence, resort staff was encouraging people like, oh, the seabed is fucking visible. You guys should go wander around and check that shit out.
Photo op.
Yeah. For the gram. And because they don't see 100-foot wall of water coming at them, they're not feeling like they're in any danger. Not a lot of people are dealing with tsunamis on a regular basis. So, it makes sense that people wouldn't know, like the tourists, but it would make sense for the staff to maybe just be like slightly informed about that.
I would hope so.
Maybe just like a 10-minute blurb during safety training.
Yeah, like a throwaway little HR video.
That's just irresponsible, okay? That was cuckoo bananas. Basically, a tsunami won't stop once it reaches land. It just continues inland, destroying everything in its path until it runs out of energy. The closer the cause of the tsunami, the more dangerous it will be. The one that hit Japan was caused by an earthquake that was 80 miles out from the eastern coastline. 80 fucking miles away.
So most likely that 80-mile away earthquake wasn't even much of a warning sign for the people there. They didn't really notice too much of it, probably.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing. It's like, if you're not in the fucking zone where like the water has broke, or you're just, I think once you hit a zone, you're in it. There you go. You're in the tsunami. But before that, if you're on a boat, you might just feel like a swell. Because with the ocean, I'm not a scientist, you guys, but I guess a swell will start and it'll gain momentum, and kind of depending on what's underneath it, whether it's the reef or like maybe an island that's, only 2 feet, but there's like islands under the water that we can't see. It's crazy, you guys. But depending on what is happening under the sea, that's going to affect what's going on with the wave. So this shit started 80 miles out from the eastern coastline, traveled at a super high velocity, which means that people really only had minutes to reach higher ground before they were hit. And on that note, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll talk more about Japan's pretty bummer history of tsunamis when we get back. And then we'll start going into the fateful 2011 incident. Okay, and we're back. So, Japan's location near the Pacific Rim is the main reason why earthquakes and tsunamis happen so often there. This is one of the most active plates in the Pacific Ocean. So, it's just bad luck geographically, essentially. Mm-hmm. They pulled the short straw with the plate situation there. The crazy thing, though, is that the people of Japan know the history of tsunamis all too well, as they have concrete scriptures dating back centuries warning them to not build their homes too low to the ground for fear of the huge waves. Some of these insane accounts happened in the 1400s. Mm-hmm. I like to throw a lot of numbers out on this show that are generally wildly inaccurate, but I feel like they happen maybe like once or twice every 100 years. Something just really pops off.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Like, if they're in like the worst location, I was curious how often they happen there. Is it worth to build?
Quick rundown. The first most destructive tsunami in history was the one in Indonesia the day after Christmas. Super big bummer, 2004. Second most destructive was this one. The third was in Portugal in the 1700s, Indonesia again in the 1800s, and then it's just Japan, 1400s, Japan, 1700s, fucking Japan, 1800s, Chile, 1800s, Japan, 17th. They're just fucked. Japan, 1586. So the thing too is, I'm not fucking victim blaming disaster victims, but people would have benefited in acting more quickly when the warnings started going off. Because of their rich history, they do have really good systems in place that's like, hey, a fucking tsunami is coming, you guys, run for the hills. There's these accounts dating back centuries, and some people did kind of take this into account when they built or bought houses, but a lot of people didn't. And a lot of homes on the coast just immediately it's so fucking gnarly to watch, just instantly an entire structure, and it's gone.
Gosh. It's just hard to picture water being so strong, but when it's moving at that speed and there's so much of it, yeah.
I mean, people do drown for sure, but it's usually they get impaled by debris because it looks like a fucking landfill moving through a town at hundreds of miles per hour. When you see the aerial footage, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, there's probably all sorts of stuff just coming at you, like cars and pieces of structures and, oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cars just being picked up like little toys and just floating away or sinking. There was this footage that I was just nail biting. It's this guy in a fucking car floating through the other houses that are not houses anymore and cars. I'm like, is that a dude in a fucking car? Is that guy in a fucking car? And then I see like the windshield wiper go again and I'm like, oh my God, he's in the car. And then thank God they put like, the man who took this footage did escape. Okay, because he definitely looked like he was going down with the fucking ship. I was like, how's he getting out of that?
Right.
Ugh, just terrifying. But even though they are pretty well prepared for tsunamis, there was just no one could have predicted the magnitude of this earthquake in 2011. It's not funny, but it's bummer. They built a seawall on the coastline that was 19 feet or 6 meters. And they just figured, I think we'll be good with that. Because, like I was saying, people are generally concerned with the height of the wave. 50-foot waves aren't going to fucking hit.
Right.
They're like, oh, we'll build a seawall and then it's chill. But then once 10-foot waves hit a 20-foot seawall at 100 miles per hour or whatever, the splash maybe then becomes a fucking 100 feet. I don't know. Like I said, don't quote me on numbers.
Yeah, it's like a ramp for the water.
Exactly. But this particular tsunami was coming in at 500 miles per hour, and some waves in certain areas were hitting at up to 32 feet. So just, whoa. Yeah. So we're going to get into the timeline of March 11, 2011, and I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through like a very sort of minute by minute, hour by hour account because of just how quickly and insanely everything popped off. So it's 7 a.m. that morning. They show this guy. He's at the beach. It looks beautiful. He's like, it's a great day for surfing. At 2:45, an emergency earthquake issue is alerted. And 1 minute later, intense shaking begins and continues for 6 minutes total in the city of Sendai. Now, my timeline is a little bit generic with locations because I didn't want to get too bogged down with minutes and locations, and then it just becomes a lot of fucking numbers and shit that I'm throwing at you. So it's not like this exact experience is what every person in every bay or part of the coastline was experiencing, you know? So in Sendai, the intense shaking at a 9 on the Richter scale went on for 6 minutes. At 2:49, just 3 minutes after the shaking began, massive tsunami warnings were issued. You didn't even have time to process the earthquake. It's like, while the ground is shaking, try to run for your life up the hill because water is coming. But a lot of people, despite, knowing the history, didn't attempt to evacuate quickly. There are people just kind of watching the water recede, and you can hear people on megaphones like, please get away from there, get to higher ground. And they're just kind of standing, watching. And I think it is because the water receding, it doesn't look so threatening.
Right.
Big waves look scary, and just an inch of water on the ground does not.
Exactly.
But by 3:06, strong intermittent aftershocks were happening. And by 3:20, the water had risen at least 10 feet, which is 3 meters for any of our non-American listeners. And so at this point, you just see houses and cars just fucking floating away effortlessly. 30 plus foot waves start hitting certain areas of the coast. At 3:54, just 30 minutes later, tsunami waves start charging up the river in Sendai. So they were like, okay, if you're by the coast or even by a fucking river, get away. Rivers were not safe either because they stopped flowing downstream because the ocean was like,
Wow.
no, I'm coming upstream. And then also because, like rivers narrow, then there are chances of bigger waves in those areas. So rivers and coasts were just fucked. And then as the water is flowing faster between the buildings and the obstructions, it starts rising exponentially as well because it doesn't have as much open area or whatever to disperse to. So people are trying to evacuate by car and their fucking cars are getting washed away. I was watching and I see this person get out of their car and I'm like, I know that you can't stay in the car because you're fucked, but where are you going?
Right.
Because you are on ground level and now you're just not protected by, now you're just a person on ground. I was like,
I know.
oh my God. This should be a video podcast because the amount I'm grabbing my hair and stuff, it's just so stressful. And yeah, I don't know what I would do. I might have ditched the car too. I'm like, who the fuck knows?
Are people like in these areas, are they just told, is the only thing you can do is just find higher ground? Is that just the main thing you're supposed to be doing?
Try to go inland
Okay.
as far as possible or get as high as possible.
Okay.
I did see them saying that you should try to get to a strong concrete building at least above the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Because even inland, they were trying to make me do math that wasn't super making sense in my mind. So I went by acres, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about acres, but it sounded like a lot because by 5 p.m., 138,379 acres had been flooded.
Whoa.
Sounds like a lot. That's a lot,
That's a lot.
right?
It's a lot. Yeah, that is a lot.
At 4:15 around there, the Fukushima power plant was hit by a 50-foot wave. That is super bad news, bears.
And was that pretty far from the shoreline, I imagine?
Oh, no. That baby
the
was
power plant.
coastal.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like right there. So as you can imagine, hospitals are overflowing. The shelters are packed. Phone lines aren't working. There's no water and electricity in many parts. And at night, on some parts of the coast, it got below freezing. I mean, people were just suffering in so many manners. In the shelters, they were low on food supplies. Early into the second day, people were using curtains as blankets. And just even the cities like Tokyo were just total chaos because obviously people are flowing into where there's civilization and access to fucking doctors and all that shit, shelter. And aftershocks continued into the night with 221 aftershocks over 5 magnitude. So just like 1.5 magnitude earthquake would scare us. Me. I can't speak for you guys, but that's enough to be like, holy fuck, like what, dude?
Yeah, that scared me for sure.
That also just kept happening. So how traumatic is that?
Like, these people cannot catch a break.
No, because then large fires start breaking out over wide areas, which are like, how is that even happening? There's water everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like power lines burst and then there's fucking structures made of wood. And I'm not a scientist, but, you know, it was just chaos on every level. Okay, so let's take another quick commercial break and we will be right back. Okay, friends, we're back. So do you guys have any questions about anything?
Well, it sounds awful. That's not a question.
First of all, how dare you? I don't know if you guys are Office fans, but
So in the end, what exactly happened with the nuclear power plant? What did it getting hit exactly cause? Like, was stuff put into the air, into the water, or...
Yeah, what did it contribute?
oh, we will get into that as its whole own disaster within the disaster. Yeah. So just to like give you a little bit extra of an idea, an earthquake of a magnitude of 9 is said to have a force equal to 600 million times the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Oh, wow. Another thing I can't imagine.
No, I know. These numbers are unfathomable.
Yeah.
I'm almost like, is that real? That doesn't sound like it could be real. But also waves that move at 600 miles per hour and that have reached 1,700 feet also don't sound real to me.
No,
Mm-hmm.
that's mind-blowing.
Aliens for sure.
Right.
1,700 foot waves.
I'm with you on that. I am with you.
Mm-hmm.
Nature is,
Scary?
it's not to be fucked with. I grew up in Hawaii and like lesson number 1 was never turn your back to the ocean because it's like, oh, la-da-da, you know, you're chilling and then all of a sudden, boom, you're drowned because it's unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
The sea is an unpredictable mistress.
Yeah, large bodies of water.
They scare me on so many levels, honestly.
Same.
Just like what resides in them,
Mhm.
the things that can go wrong there. I mean, the ocean in particular, rogue waves that just happen in the middle of the ocean. You're cruising along on a boat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
On a boat, and then just like 100-foot wave comes like out of nowhere. It's not like it commonly occurs where that happens.
Yeah.
with, you know, people, but just the fact that it could.
I don't like
That
that.
is bananas.
I don't like that one bit.
I just don't like that it's happening.
No.
And it makes me want to stay out of the ocean.
No?
It's a chance I don't want to take.
Yeah. Sharks are, that came randomly, but they live in the ocean and they're kind of just like my worst fear, even on land. They're going to get me in a pool somehow. I don't know.
Land sharks.
They are after me for some reason. So as this is happening, there's some really good documentaries on YouTube where you can see people who took footage with their cell phones and stuff. And you can see like the fucking ground literally splitting in fucking half. It's just really nutty to see. So I recommend, even if you guys and anybody listening doesn't want to put an hour into watching tsunami footage, I understand that. But just even watching like a little bit just to get a visual idea, because it's hard for me to even describe when you're watching, because obviously you guys aren't grabbing your heads and stuff while I'm telling you, but I am, because I see it in my mind's eye.
Yeah. It is fresh in your mind right now.
It is. No, it's so real. I'm inland. I'm very much inland at this point. I'm feeling okay about that.
Same. This is a natural disaster we never have to worry about here.
Yeah, it would be too random. But I was going to ask you guys at the beginning if you've ever had any natural disaster experiences, but...
We get tornadoes and stuff, but...
Yeah, we get the scares a lot with those.
Okay, that's scary. You guys just have to go run down to a shelter real quick now and then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be like, I hope my house is still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
Luckily, I've never had one get super, super close. But yeah, we're constantly having the tornado sirens go off and have to go in the basement.
Whoa. That's crazy, you guys. I don't think I could live somewhere like that. I'd be like way too on edge all the time.
Yeah.
People here get used to it and kind of like it now. Most people in Missouri go out on their porch just to watch it. It's weird.
Again, people are dumb.
That's like the people watching the tsunami being like, no, it's chill.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. And then literally 10 seconds later, they're watching entire cars and villages be washed away. It's like, it's not fine, you guys. You know what? It's all fine until it's not.
Right.
That's the thing. Until somebody gets their eye poked out, it's all good and dandy. So before we get to the nuclear nightmare that you guys asked about,
yes,
I will tell you that what was so destructive about this is the velocity at which it was traveling, but just how long the tsunami was, because it did not stop until it reached about 6 miles inland before it started to recede back. A 6-mile wave, essentially. I would think maybe like head a couple miles inland and I'm probably good. No. And it happened so quickly that people were like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna hop in the car, let's drive for the country. And it just happened so quick that a lot of people did not have that chance.
Yeah, 6 miles is no joke. I'm trying to think of what commute I do that's about 6 miles. I'm just trying to imagine that.
It's not close. You're like, oh, that's not that bad. But it's a good distance for sure. Around 3:42, we get the wave that hits the power plant. So the 3 active reactors cooled by the diesel water pump are now in danger of shutting down, because in order to remain active, the generators have to stay dry. And swamped by the wave, the diesel generators are destroyed. And there's only one cooling system left, which is battery operated and only has 8 hours charge. So Fukushima is close to having a full nuclear meltdown at this point. Basically, their worst fear was coming true because radiation began leaking. The radiation leak was given a natural disaster rating of 7, which is the same as the city of Chernobyl.
Oh my God.
Everybody fucking knows Chernobyl.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, Chernobyl, radiation.
Yeah, I was curious how they compared, so I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So just, think of that. It was same level of destruction. It's basically the fucking new Chernobyl. The citizens of Japan were made aware of this around 3 a.m. on March 12th and are advised to evacuate. 2 hours later, they're told to evacuate even farther due to the fear of the radiation leaking. So at first they're like, you know what? Get like 6 miles away from here. That's probably pretty safe. Shortly after that, they're like, you know what? Make it 12. Double that. Get the fuck out of here, essentially. Wow. They had to evacuate 80,000 people just from that Fukushima area. That's not including all the other fucking coastal and river towns. And they were moving critically ill patients just from place to place on buses for kind of lack of where to go. And a lot of people died from things just kind of as simple as dehydration. Just because, they were already in a super bad way and then don't have access to the basic things that people need, you're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It's one of those things that you don't think about, and it's not the exciting thing that you hear in documentaries. Yeah, definitely dehydration, I'm sure, is a big one.
Well, yeah, because I mean, now the shelters are getting overcrowded. They're running out of food and water. They don't have fucking electricity. It's cold. It's not just the people whose houses were destroyed or who were killed by the fucking water. Even people who were so far from that were feeling it because obviously just the devastation was immense.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they have no systems to cool the reactors, the Japanese government makes the decision to send men into a radioactive zone to manually cool reactors with seawater. And this is now the biggest disaster to strike Japan since World War II.
Ooh, I would not want to be one of those people.
No, dude. And then like, I don't know if it was a false alarm, but they show these guys down there doing the fucking dirty work. And then another tsunami alarm starts going off. And everybody's like, run, tsunami coming.
Oh my
and then they didn't
gosh.
show another tsunami happen or talk about another one. I'm guessing it was a false alarm. But I was just like,
come on.
are you fucking kidding me? Like, no fucking way, dude. Get out. Stop it. No.
And I watched the show about Chernobyl, but I can't remember now. Do any kind of like suits even protect you, or are you just going to be affected by it?
Honestly, I don't know, but I'm not going to make an educated guess because I'm not educated enough on the subject.
Do you remember, Trevin, you watched the Chernobyl thing?
I did. I don't think that it helped 100%.
Yeah.
It wasn't completely, all of that radioactive proof or whatever.
So it's day 2. The shelters are getting worse. Food is dwindling. Now, especially, things are fucking way gnarlier with the Fukushima disaster, and it's just looking really bad. Tens of thousands of people are still like on roofs and shit, fucking waiting to be rescued, and there's just not enough people to do all of it. And it kind of hit its peak, and then by the 3rd day, they start getting some rescue relief supplies brought in, and the documentary that I watched focused on the first 3 days because that was kind of the main intense part of it. But after March 4th, 3 days after the incident, rescue efforts mainly halted. 18,000 people were either missing or dead.
Ooh, that is a lot.
That's way more people
Bummer
than
City.
I assumed.
So there's this really sad thing, but it is kind of beautiful that happened from it. Actually, before I get into that though, I do want to tell you about a little of the after effects that it had in other places. So while the initial earthquake had also caused a tsunami to cross over the entire Pacific Ocean, rushing past Hawaii, Santa Cruz, California, Chile, and Antarctica, the waves were still strong enough after traveling over 5,000 miles to break off ice, creating new icebergs in Antarctica. Antarctica. Jesus, fuck, that's a hard one to say. The tsunami tore down or swept away thousands upon thousands of homes, buildings, cars, and streets. And what actually kills most people, if I didn't mention, is the debris, because you've got all this fucking planks of wood and trees and parts of metal from goddamn cars and shit rushing through the streets. So before you have a chance to drown, something's probably just going to fucking hit you. That's actually kind of, I think, the highest cause of death.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's like a grenade with shrapnel.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. 9 months after the nuclear disaster was declared, officials said it would take 30 to 40 years to fix the nuclear plant. And not only do they need to get rid of water that has radiation, but they need to figure out how to avoid water being able to get down there again. So it's a long, slow road to fixing, obviously, what was an insane radioactive disaster in addition to everything else. They are trying to improve their warning system, even though it's very hard to predict when an earthquake will occur. They do have at least a 1-minute warning issued so that people can try to reach safety.
How helpful.
Yeah, that is not enough. Not enough.
Going back to the nuclear thing, you said 30 to 40 years to repair it, so they're not just going to take this as a sign and just go move it somewhere? They're just going to repair it where it's at?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm guessing it's not that easy to like move a whole nuclear plant. I don't know. It definitely seems like the right thing to do, and probably something maybe the UN should step in on, or one of the world organizations, and say, hey, look, but you have to.
Yeah, I mean, if it's already going to take 30 to 40 to rebuild it, and you're like, if you told me it would take 60 to relocate it, I'd be like, you know what, I'll take the extra 20 years. Let's just do it. Let's do it right.
No, I'm totally with you. That's why, speaking of you guys living in high tornado areas where people do legit constantly get hit, why do you keep rebuilding? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen again.
I know, like Oklahoma area always gets hit, it seems like.
I don't know.
I know.
That's just me.
I know. For us, it's like a bunch of scares, so I feel totally fine. But if we were repeatedly experiencing something, I'd be like,
I gotta go. Thanks. It's been real.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things that survivors said in the documentary that I watched, 311, the tsunami, the first 3 days. It was we did have several other sources, but that was the one that I kind of pulled my main timeline from. Advice that people gave was, quote, escape higher, escape farther. Quote, I wish I'd taken it more seriously. I underestimated it. Quote, this is a really bummer one. I'm filled with regret. I wish I'd talked to my family about what to do when a tsunami is coming. Maybe they would have survived. I want to share what I've learned so no one will die next time.
Oh, that is
Yikes.
so hard. That's heartbreaking.
This is also heartbreaking, but beautiful. They have this thing called the Kaze no Denwa, or Phone of the Wind, that was built in 2011 by garden designer Itaru Sasaki. And people travel from far and wide to come talk to their loved ones on this unconnected phone. I feel like crying talking about it. I listened to an episode of this podcast, Invisibilia, a long time about it, in particular about this phone booth, and it plays people saying their fucking story and stuff. People go and they're just like, hi, Grandma. You know, I just wanted to say that I hope you're doing okay and I'm doing good in school. You know, Dad's been sick and I miss you so much. It's really heartbreaking, but it's also kind of nice to see that it seems some people find solitude in feeling that they do still have a way to connect with those they lost.
Yeah.
It was created because of the tsunami, but it's kind of become a place where people just come to talk to their loved ones who have passed by suicide or other means.
It's kind of bittersweet,
Yeah.
for sure, because obviously the reason they're going there is for a sad reason. But like you said, I mean, I'm sure maybe the comfortability of like actually having the phone makes it easier for some people to feel like they can still connect, you know,
Yeah.
having that actual object there and something you're familiar with talking into. I don't know. It's kind of sweet.
One of the guys said that, you know, like he dialed his wife's phone number.
Oh,
I'm sure there's just something about the whole thing that just feels either normal or maybe, I would hope, give some people closure.
right.
The thing that you wish that you had said the last time you saw somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so sweet and sad.
Yeah. Sad episode, you guys. Sorry. I mean, but I mean,
It's okay.
interesting, right?
That is super
It's
interesting.
crazy. Japan has this, they just had a real bad luck of the draw geographically.
It sounds like it. My goodness.
I always kind of get worried because I haven't experienced a major natural disaster in my lifetime. So I just feel like it's like due to happen.
Mm.
Well, that's like bad juju,
Yeah.
you know, but oh my God, it hasn't happened in my lifetime. It's going to.
No, I mean, you're in Colorado, right? So, like,
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
I'm pretty safe here.
yeah. I was going to say, really, the only thing, do you guys even have the fires or is that like further away from you?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Fires,
No,
okay.
fires are a big thing.
So that's like really.
And fire's scary. So,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah. Sorry. Not to bring that up into your attention.
Rude. Actually, I guess it's just that like I've never had to evacuate because I lived so close or whatever. So it's just,
Yeah.
it's never, or I've never lost a loved one in a natural disaster or anything.
Right,
So it's
right.
not something that hits super close to home for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it would make sense that they build a fucking phone booth considering they're like, well, another one is going to happen at some point. So we might as well just get this shit going right now.
I was going to say, did the city rebuild at all? Do you know? Or were people just kind of like done with it? Or
There's a show on Netflix called Dark Tourist with David Ferrier. He's a journalist from New Zealand. He's great.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys ever saw that documentary on HBO called Tickled about competitive endurance tickling.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Trevin knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Amanda, you should probably get on that train. It is so much darker and nefarious, though, than the words competitive tickling can bring up.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Anyways, same journalist, but he goes to Japan and he visits an abandoned island and goes to the suicide forest, and he visits a town hit by heavy radiation. And I'm going to take a stab because I haven't watched that episode in a while, but I think it might be this town.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Chernobyl. So there's higher levels of radiation in certain parts. And in some parts, they're like, oh, it's safe. You can come back and live here. The radiation is super minimal, but still nobody is really down.
Right. I wouldn't be.
Well, I mean, they said it's going to take like 30 to 40 years to rebuild the plant or to get nature back to some sort of homeostasis after being drowned in nuclear fucking toxic shit.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody lives there now, but people go and visit as kind of like a morbid tourism thing, which I'm not going to lie, would totally be my jam.
I would too.
What? Oh my God. You guys can go together. There you go. Send me pictures.
There's like this haunted doll island in Mexico that I'm like, take me there.
I'm into it.
So I'm pretty sure that the damage done was pretty hardcore, and people don't really live there. They just go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know about Chernobyl, but people stopped living there after that, right?
Yeah, they made a wider area around it to where they just didn't come that close to it. I forget how big it was.
Yeah, they put like what was it? Like a big old metal thing over where the actual disaster happened, right? And then there's some people that have lived here all my life, and so they live still kind of nearby, but nobody lives right in that area.
But I know you can do dark tourist stuff there.
Yeah, so people don't really live there because definitely high levels of nuclear radiation. Fukushima and kind of, I think, the most near surrounding towns are at this point not somewhere that people live. And actually, thanks for bringing up that question, because I do think that is a good one and an interesting one to end on, because it was the earthquake and then the tsunami and then the fucking societal emergency after that and then a nuclear goddamn meltdown and then something in Antarctica. I don't even remember. We've talked about so much, but you know, it's like that shit was bananas. A lot happened.
No, I definitely learned a lot too. I didn't realize that the water could travel that fast or get that high, or I didn't know that all of that happened.
Who knew you were coming for a science lesson today?
Yeah, for real. I didn't even know about the power plant though. Like I'm surprised when they did the reboot of Godzilla, they didn't just make that his origin. That would have made total sense.
Ooh.
I've never seen any Godzilla movies, but that would make sense. Yeah, like a radioactive dragon.
I mean, he was made by radioactive stuff in like the old 60s movies, but for the reboot of the new one, you could have used like a real natural disaster and kind of made it feel more real worldly.
Oh my God, yeah.
Until doing this research, I actually had no idea that this big radioactive disaster, because I actually did know about that. I feel like I remember knowing about that at the time, being like, oh shit, that popped off in Japan, and now that's going to have big effects on the ocean for everybody for a super long time. That was, I don't know, 11 years ago. So since then, I've never made the connection that it was those two things. So
yeah. And our news cycle is so quick.
Right.
We brush things under the rug so fast.
oh yeah, and that's why I don't watch the news. I have enough anxiety.
Right. I'm sure you do enough research on disturbing things.
They're like, this happened, and then something happens the next day.
Yeah.
I can't keep up. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been super fun.
Thank you for having us. My gosh, it's even though this was a sad subject matter and very tragic, it was very informative.
Yeah, and I love learning fucked up things, and what better show for fucked up things?
Yeah, I mean, it's like murder is not the only thing that's fucked up. Thousands of people fucking getting violently killed by the ocean is also pretty fucked up.
I would agree.
Right? I mean, yeah, you guys are with me. So tell everybody where they can find you and listen and all that jazz.
Yeah, so if you guys need, maybe right after this episode, right, we're feeling a little sad. If you want to come over and get petty with us, we, like I said, cover the more lighthearted stuff. But you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Live Laugh Larceny. And honestly, we're available on every podcast platform that I think we have found, right, Trevin? I mean, all the major ones.
Yeah, if you find something where we aren't, I dare you, and also let me know where, and I will make sure I'm there.
Yes.
Ooh, same. Samesies.
Right.
I dare you. Fucking come at me.
Yeah.
Somebody hold my earrings. Hold me back.
Oh, and if you have a petty crime story you want to share with us too, we do take either listener suggestions from the news or personal stories like you yourself are doing.
Woo!
You can email us at livelaughlarceny@gmail.com as well.
So people can send in petty crimes. Can they send in sweaty crimes?
The sweatier and pettier, the better.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be a crime. We do things that are just really petty stories of retaliation between other people. Yeah, if you want to make it sweaty.
Mine's gonna be so good, you guys. I
can't wait.
I don't even know if it was petty because I think that man deserved what came to him. I'll just leave it at that.
He had it coming.
Okay, shut the fuck up. I've literally just sang the entire Chicago soundtrack to myself like 3 days ago. A full performance in my kitchen to no one. Ugh, so good. So yeah, don't pet the sweaty things. Sweat the petty things.
There you go.
Did I say that right? I think I fucked that up.
I don't know, but it sounded good.
Yeah. And while you're on the interwebs, going to their website and on the media that is social, also find us at TSFE the Podcast and TSFEthepodcast.com and TSFE the Podcast at gmail.com. Because look at all of us. Brand continuity. Am I right? Like, keep it simple.
Oh, yeah.
You can find us out there, you guys. That's that cat in the hat, because that's the best we've come up with. I suggested Life's a Bitch and Then You Die, and people thought that was too much of a bummer. So,
Boo, I like it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys want from me. So, okay. I love you. Appreciate you being here. And we'll see you next time for Jarring Japan.
Bye.
See you.